Okay, so we'll start sitting as usual. Sit yourself in a comfortable position, either cross-legged or on your knees. And just taking a moment to sit yourself upright from the lower back. So that means tilting the pelvis forward ever so slightly, engaging the abdominals as you do so, just so that you have that natural lumbar curve at the lower back. And then just allow your spine to extend upwards from the pelvis, really taking up your full height. And just rest your hands gently on your legs, close your eyes, and just take a few moments to arrive in your body, noticing what it feels like to sit here, feeling the weight of your body dropping down into the earth, feeling your clothes or the air on your skin, and noticing any internal sensations, any areas of tension, or any emotions or mood that might be manifesting in the body. And then we take 3 deep intentional breaths together. So inhaling, breathing right down deep into the belly, really filling up the low belly. And exhale, feel the sitting bones drop down one more time. Inhale, breathing wide into the sides and the back of the rib cage. And exhale, drop the shoulder blades down and back. And inhale, using the full lungs down deep into the belly, out into the sides, the back of the rib cage, all the way up to the top. And exhale, let it go. Let your day so far go. And set an intention to approach the next hour with a sense of compassion and curiosity for your own body practice. And set an intention to notice and to know when it's time to try hard, but also when maybe it's time to ease off a little bit if something is not right for your body. Okay, and then open your eyes, interlace your hands in front of you, take a breath in, and breathing out, push the palms away. Tips of the thumbs touching, little fingers crossed. And so before we go anywhere, just key in again to the torso in space. Have you shifted your body to bring your arms out in front of you like this? So just, again, drawing the low belly in, keeping that slight pelvic tilt forwards, keep the chest lifted, keeping the full height of the spine. And then really isolating the arms here, so keeping the torso completely stable. Take another breath in and breathing out, move the arms and the shoulder sockets. Going as far as you can without going into a back bend and losing that connection with the lower abdominals. And then once you get your arms as far back as they can go, squeeze the biceps in towards the ears and start to lift even more up out of the waist, lengthening the sides of the torso, stretching the body up as much as possible. And then allow the arms to come down, the shoulders to slide down, and release the hands. And stretch your legs out in front and cross them the other way, unless you're kneeling, of course, in which case stay where you are. And then once again, tilt the pelvis forward, draw the belly in, lift the chest, shoulders down and back. Rest your hands gently on your legs. And again, just take a moment to notice what it feels like to sit up straight, to take up your full space, to give all your inner organs the right space, and to have your spine in a position that it can best support the weight of your body without increasing tension. So when we hunch forwards, as we do far too often, we're putting so much more stress on the back of the body as it has to support that extra weight. But as we sit with the head balanced directly above the spine, there should actually be a sense of ease here. Okay, and then interlace the hands the other way, less dominant thumb on top. Take a breath in, and breathing out, push the palms away. Draw the belly in, stabilize the torso, take another breath in, and on the out breath, start to move the arms and the shoulder sockets, coming to your full extension, and then lifting up out of the waist, allowing the shoulder blades to come up, everything to move up. Squeeze the upper arms in towards each other as you resist away with the heels of the hands. Keep the breath flowing, keep the low abdomen drawing in. Lift up a little bit more. And then allow the arms to come down, shoulder blades slide down the back. And release the hands. And release your legs. And make your way to a standing position. Spread the toes nice and wide. And start to bring the awareness down into the feet. And just lift up all your toes and cycle through them a couple of times, bringing down one toe at a time, bringing up one toe at a time. Have a little look down at your feet if you need to. Notice which toes kind of are more willing to move on their own. And then just feeling that activation in the midfoot, waking up all those little muscles that move the toes. And see if you can keep a sense of that lift in the inner arch as you bring the toes down to rest. Then bring the body weight back slightly so that the hips are stacked over the heels. Engage the quadriceps so the kneecaps lift up. Lift the front of the pelvis, draw the belly in, lift the chest, and extend the fingertips down towards the floor. Mountain pose, the foundation of all the standing postures. From here, maintaining that alignment, take a breath in and extend the arms out to the side of the room. Long fingers, wide palms, energy all the way to the fingertips. And turn the arms and the shoulder sockets. And again, lift up, lengthening here, allowing the shoulder blades to slide up. Body weight still back over the heels, belly still in, kneecaps still lifted. Stretch up, long fingers, wide palms. And then allow the arms to come down. And release them down by your sides. Okay, bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees. Step or hop, wide stride. And we begin with the second warrior pose. Turn your left foot in slightly and your right foot out all the way. Check that your right leg is fully rotated out and is pointing that way. Inside edge of the foot parallel with the long edge of the mat. Torso still facing the front. Bring your hands to your hips, draw your elbows back. Engage that left foot, push the heel down. Engage this quadricep and keep it lifted. And we'll go in and out a few times. Inhale, lifting the chest. And exhale, bending only your right knee and inhaling up. So as we do this, there is a lot to focus on. You are pushing back with this left heel, really keeping that engaged, keeping the left leg strong. That's the foundation resisting back as you bend over to the right. Your right knee is tracking towards the little toe side of your foot. So don't allow it to fall in. Have a look down and check that you can see your big toe past your knee as you're bending it. Your belly is drawing in. Your torso is remaining completely vertical above your hips, lifting the chest and drawing the elbows back. Okay, next time you're at the top, stop there. Inhale, outstretch the arms, extend, and then exhale, come down into your warrior two. Turn your head to look along your right arm. Take the mind again to the left heel, push the heel down, lift the arch of the foot up. Maybe see if you can, keeping the ball of the foot down, just lift the toes gently and see how that lifts the arch of the left foot. Engage the left quadricep, draw the belly in, lift the chest, drop the shoulders down away from the ears, extend through to the fingertips, and keep the breath flowing. Have a look down, check your right knee is still pushing towards the little toe side of the foot. Gazing then at a single point in front of you, keeping the breath flowing. Sit down a little bit more, and then bring your gaze to the front, straighten your right leg, turn the foot round, relax your arms, and go to the other side. Turn your right foot in, left foot out. Fully rotate that leg, inside edge of the foot, parallel with the long edge of the mat. Right leg, really engage it. Push the heel down, lift the inner arch up, lift the kneecap. Draw the belly in, lift the chest on an inhale, and exhale down. And again, doing this with the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Mind to the right foot, push that heel down, lift the inner arch up, and engage the quadricep, really resisting back with this back leg as you sit down. Left knee tracking towards the little toe side of the foot to maintain that external rotation of the leg. So check that you can see your big toe past your knee at the bottom of the movement. Keep the belly drawing in, torso stable in the center, chest lifted, shoulders back. Okay, and then next time you're at the top, hold it there. Inhale, outstretch the arms, extend, and then exhale, sit down into your warrior pose. And turn your head to look along your left arm. Mind to the back foot. Push the right heel down, engage the quadricep. Draw the belly in, lift the chest, and drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Left knee pushing towards the little toe side of the foot. Arms are long, fingers are extended. Energy through to the fingertips. Maybe just have a look behind you and check that your back arm hasn't started to droop because you're no longer looking at it, and bring it up if necessary in line with the shoulder. Sit down a little bit more, keeping that back leg really active, and then turn your gaze to the front, straighten the front leg, turn the foot round, and come back to your mountain pose. Spread the toes, body weight back, lift the chest, roll the shoulders down and back. Okay, we're going to go into chair pose. Bring your feet to hip distance. Spread the toes, feet in parallel, so outside edge of the feet parallel. I mean by that, so toes in slightly. Body weight back. Lift the front of the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. Let's all keep the hands on the hips to begin with this time. So drawing the elbows back, draw the belly in, lift the chest, and then sit down, excuse my clicky ankle, into your chair pose. Really draw the belly in towards the spine, keeping the elbows drawing back and the shoulders down away from the ears. Body weight is through the heels, so notice if you have a tendency to rock forwards onto your toes, bring the body weight back through to the heels and sit down a little bit more, keeping the knees tracking directly above the ankles. Now lift the chest, send the tailbone down as you lift the chest, keeping that belly drawing in, coming into a back bend here. From here, either keep your hands on the hips or you can bring them up in line with the ears making the posture a little bit more challenging. See if you can sit down a little bit more from there and lift the chest a little bit more. Long fingers, wide palms, squeeze the belly in, sit down one more time, and then lift up all the way. Bring the arms down and the feet together. Spread the toes, body weight back, chest lifted, and extend the fingers down. Okay, and we'll turn to the side. You can stay facing the front. Chair pose with feet together, and we're going to do the going up onto the toes. So find your strong mountain pose, body weight back over the heels, lift the front of the pelvis, draw the belly in, lift the chest, extend the fingers down. Hands on hips or up above the head, lift up out of the waist and sit down into your chair pose, keeping the belly drawing in, sending the tailbone down, chest lifted, arms by the ears. From here, rising up onto your toes, gazing at a single point, really push those heels forward, keep the belly drawing in. Can you sit down a little bit more? Lift the chest a little bit more, sit down one more, squeezing the inner thighs together, and then stand all the way up, and release the arms back down. Good. Okay, actually I'm going to stay facing this side. We're going to do some standing backward bends. Come to a hip width, stance. You know what I mean. In your feet to hip distance. And find your mountain pose, so like body weight back over the heels, squeezing the glutes. And we're going to do some very gentle standing backward bends, going in and out a little bit like we do with the forward bends. So when we're doing the forward bend standing, we're obviously using all our back muscles to lift our body up and down. When we're going to do standing backward bends, what you're actually then using to control that movement is your core. So we often use the core muscles in a very rounded shape, i.e. when the muscles are short. What this is going to require you to do is use these muscles to stop the backward motion when they're in a long or extended position. So it's not gonna, you're not gonna go back very far. Just have a look. So we're gonna start with really pushing the hips forwards, and then you're gonna slide your hands down and come up, and slide down and come up. And what you will feel is that you have to engage this to bring yourself back up. Okay, so bring your hands behind your glutes like this. And that will also have the advantage of you can use the hands on your backside to make sure that those glutes are firing. Why do we want them firing? Because if they're not, you do this and you're going to crunch the lower back. You squeeze them on, turn the tailbone down, and then we'll find the movement in the upper back and keep the length here. Okay, I'm going to stop explaining. All right, so squeeze those glutes, push the hips forwards as much as you can, lift the chest, really lift up out of the waist, and then just start to slide your hands down a little bit, and then come up. Keeping the glutes squeezing throughout the movement, and bringing the mind to the front of the abdominals and noticing how you have to use them to support your body. Right, so if you are comfortable doing that, you can also try to let your head go completely. So dropping the head back, and same thing. If this doesn't feel good for you, keep the chin in neutral. Okay, so, and now I want you to try and hold it, not too extreme, for a little bit. So either with the head in neutral or the head drop back, squeeze the glutes, push them forwards, come into your back bend and hold it there. Keep the chest lifted, Keep those glutes really squeezing, push the hips forward. Keep the breath flowing, little sips of air. And I don't know about you, but I am shaking holding this. And then coming up. And we should feel that the front of the body has started to wake up in order to do that. Okay, so from there, step your feet to a medium stride for warrior 1 into 3. And so with warrior 1, when we do the back bends, hopefully you'll feel a little bit of that same thing. Okay, so we're going to turn the left foot in a lock, toes in, heels out, right foot out all the way. Bring the hips to face the long edge of the mat. Really square the hips around, squeeze the inner thighs, and then really squeeze this left glute, sending the tailbone down, lengthening the lower back. Inhale the arms up, lift up out of the waist, push that left heel down, engage the left quadricep, draw the belly in, and then bend your right knee as much as you can without losing the contact of the back leg. Now, re-engage your right glute, send that tailbone down, and find a little bit of that inner thigh squeeze. In fact, bring your arms down, bring your hands back to your hips, and see now with that bent front leg, have you lost the squareness of your hips? Can you bring them round a little bit more? Find that inner thighs squeezing together action, re-squeeze the glutes, try and get your hip points to be as square as possible. Again, re-raise the arms, fix the pelvis where it is, lift up out of the waist, and start to tip back into your back bend, tracing the fingertips along the ceiling. Keep those glutes squeezing. And you're not trying to get very far back. Always think up before back, so lifting up out of the waist before coming back another inch or so. And then bring your torso to neutral, straighten your front leg, and then we're going to go into our warrior 3. We'll rebend the front leg, draw the belly in, and tip the body forwards over that front leg. Bring your hands to your hips, and again, try to square the pelvis with the ground. So you're bringing that left hip down, trying to bring the left toes to point exactly down to the ground, draw the belly in, extend the chest forward, draw the elbows back, gazing at a single point, lift your back leg up a little bit more, bring the body down a little bit more, and then with control, come back to your warrior 1 legs, straighten the front leg, and turn the foot round. Okay, other side. Turn the right foot in a lock, left foot out all the way, hips come to face the side of the room. Squeeze now your right glute, really send the tailbone down there. Engage that right heel, push the heel down, engage the quadriceps. So this leg should stay really active throughout the posture. We'll keep the hands on the hips as we bend the knee. So just inhale, lift up out of the waist, and exhale, bend that front knee. And again, see if you can maintain that alignment of the pelvis. From there, re-squeeze that back glute. It always wants to stop working. And then lift the arms up by the ears, lift up out of the waist, and stabilizing the torso, or sorry, stabilizing the hips. You can take it gently into a back bend, lifting up before you go back, using those abdominal muscles to support the weight of your upper body, going backwards, keeping the breath flowing, keep that right glute squeezed. And then torso to neutral, straighten the front leg a moment. And we'll go into our warrior 3. So bending your front leg, draw the belly in, tilt the body forwards, bring the hands onto the hips, and again, square the pelvis. So this time we're bringing the right hip down. I think I might have said that last time, sorry. So you know what I mean. The leg that's in the air, bring that down, bring the heel up, toes pointing down towards the floor, belly in, chest lifted, bring the leg up a little bit more, body down more, keeping the breath flowing, and then tilting back to your warrior one legs, straightening the front leg, turn the feet round, and come back to your mountain pose. Toes spread, body weight back, chest lifted, and extend the fingertips down towards the floor. All right, triangle pose. Come to a wide stride, two heels in one line, body weight back over the heels, engage the quadriceps, draw the belly in, hand the left foot in slightly, right foot out all the way, inside edge of the foot parallel, fully rotating that leg, also still facing the front. Both legs stay straight, so push the heels down, engage those quadriceps, inhale, outstretch the arms, and then lengthen out to the right. So notice I'm going out, not down. Really imagine you're trying to touch that wall or whatever's over there, and when you can't stretch that way anymore, just allow the arm to come down, keeping the torso where it is. And you see here how that keeps the length of the underside of my body. Now, if you need to rest on that leg, put weight there, then do, but also you can try just floating your hand, gently touching the fingertips there. Take the top arm up, bring both shoulders down away from the ears, and then turn your head to look up to your top arm. Both quadriceps are still engaged, belly drawing in, stretch up with the top arm, down with the bottom arm, keeping the breath flowing. Now you can hold it here, or you can bring the arms up in line with the ears, challenging the core even more, using now these muscles on the left side of the body to support the weight of the torso. Keep the belly drawing in, stretch those fingertips away, and then come up all the way. Bring the arms down, turn the feet round. We go to the other side. Turn the right foot in and the left foot out. Both legs straight, push the heels down, engage the quadriceps. Inhale, outstretch the arms, and then start to stretch over to the left. Really stretch away as far as you can, and then when you can't reach any further away, keep the torso exactly where it is, stabilize it, and just allow the arm to come down. Take the top arm up, shoulders away from the ears, and if you wish, you can bring your chin to your top shoulder, or you can keep the gaze forward, head in line with the spine. Both legs really engaged here, engage those quadriceps, draw the belly in, stretch up with the top arm, down with the bottom arm. Either hold the arms there or bring them up in line with the ears, challenge those core muscles on the sides of the torso, keep the breath flowing, extend the fingertips away, smile. As you do this, engage those quadriceps, keep the belly drawing in, and then come up all the way, turn the feet round, and step back to your mountain pose. Spread the toes, and the body weight back, lift the chest, and extend the fingertips down to the floor, and breathe. Inhale, rising up through the crown of your head, and exhale, extending the fingertips down. Okay, step your feet to a wide stride, wide-legged forward bend. If you're very tight in the hamstrings, feel free to put a chair or some blocks or sofa, whatever you've got in front of you. Bring the ground a little bit closer to you. Also, the wider you can get your legs, the closer the ground will be, which can be helpful if you have enough stretch in your groin, of course. Push the heels down, engage the quadriceps, lift the front of the pelvis. Hands on hips, draw the elbows back. Go into a little bit of a back bend here, so really lift up out of the waist. Imagine you're trying to make the front of your body as long as possible. From here, without losing any of that length, start to turn from the pelvis So keeping the front body long. If you had a side view right now, you'd see I'm still in a back bend. You can check your own back is still in a concave position. Re-engage your quadriceps. I bet they've gone to sleep. Draw the belly in. Extend your sternum, your chest forward, keeping the elbows drawing back. So this might be as far as you come today, that's fine. Or if you want to bring your hands down either onto the support or onto the floor, but only if you can maintain that concave in your lower back, which is why it can be good to have the arms raised. If you put your arms down, turn the points of your elbows back towards your body. So they're not bending out here, you turn them down, and so if you bent them, they would remain in parallel. As you find that rotation, squeezing the elbows back towards your body, you should feel a little bit of engagement around the side of the rib cage, the serratus anterior. You can either hold it here or come down a little bit more, keeping those legs engaged, turning the tailbone up towards the ceiling, drawing the belly strongly in towards the spine. And again, if you've still got more stretch to come, you can continue coming down. But just find the position that's right for you, where you can keep that length in the front of the body. As you come down, you're trying to bring not your chest or your head to the floor, but rather your lowest rib. So imagine you're just trying to get your lowest rib 1 centimeter closer to the floor, turning the tailbone up. Keep those elbows squeezing back towards the body. And then everyone come up to a kind of halfway position with the body roughly horizontal, and then you can heel toe your feet in until they come under your hips, and bend your knees a lot so that your stomach comes onto your thighs. Bring your hands to your hips, draw your belly in, and inhale, come all the way up, and step your feet together, spread your toes, body weight back, lift your chest, roll the shoulders down, and breathe. Okay, come to the top of your mat. We'll do the little sequence of balancing into lunges, which I think I've done with most of you. So find your mountain pose, body weight back, squeeze the bum, lift the chest, draw the shoulders down and back, hands on hips, and then as you lift a leg, as we go into all the single leg things, really focus on, as much as possible, keeping your hips square. You're obviously going to counterbalance a little bit, but try not to do this when you lift the foot up, allowing the hips to really push over. So you're trying to keep, as much as possible, this hip over that leg, and then your glute med here will really have to work to stabilize that position as you are lifting the leg. So with the hands on the hips, try and maintain the stability, the position of your torso, ground down through the ball of the left big toe joint, and then lift your right leg up without allowing your torso, your pelvis to move in space. See how high you can bring your knee, again without changing the alignment of your hips. So I can bring out my leg up lots. If I start to round here, I don't have that much movement, but see if you can bring it past 90 degrees, just with, but still keeping your natural lumbar curve. And then from there, we're gonna come forwards into a warrior 3 again, using the hands on the pelvis. I'm so wobbly today. To try and keep the pelvis stable, really using again that left glute med to stabilize the position. Then we're gonna bring the back foot down with control. Again, pelvis still square with the front of the mat, torso long rising up. Then we're gonna just dip that back knee down, no weight through that knee. And then spring forwards, come back to your warrior three, and then to your balancing position. Other side. Lift now the left leg, ground down through the ball of the right big toe joint. See if you can really stabilize your torso in space. Lifting that left knee up as much as possible without the pelvis shifting. Keep the belly drawing in, keep the torso long. Then start to pivot forwards, extending the back leg into your warrior three. Again, using your hands to try and keep that pelvis stable. It's going to shift a bit, but try not to let the left hip lift up too much. And slowly bring the back foot down. Re-square your hips if you need to. Keep lifting the chest. As you just dip very slowly your back leg down. Spring forwards into your warrior three again. Draw the belly in, straighten the pelvis, and then lift up the leg into your balance. Okay, rest the legs down a moment, give it a little shake out. We'll go through one more time. And I've said this before, but just to reiterate, like all this stuff about going on about the pelvis being straight, it's not because the pelvis being straight looks pretty, it's because your body has to work harder to support that position. If you allow your pelvis to shift, you're just kind of compensating, which is fine, but doing this is going to strengthen all those supportive muscles around the pelvis and the core. Okay, so body weight back over the heels, draw the belly in, lift the chest, lift the right leg up. You can either hold it here, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can straighten that leg out. Try not to lean back to counterbalance. Keep the torso above your hips. Extending the chest up, keeping the belly drawing in. Bend the knee, hinge, coming through to your warrior three. Bringing that left hip down, facing towards the floor, keep the belly drawing in, lifting the right leg up. And then drop back into your lunge. Re-straighten your pelvis if you need to. Draw the belly in, lift up out of the waist, and then slowly just bring that knee to touch the floor. And coming up, maintaining that pelvic stability the whole time. Spring forwards into your warrior three. Square the pelvis as much as possible. And then come through to your bent knee balance. Straighten the leg if you want to. And then bring that foot down. Give the side left foot a little shake, and then we'll go to the other side. Body weight back over the heels, squeeze the glutes, belly in, chest lifted. Really stabilize the pelvis where it is before lifting that left leg up. Either hold it there or straighten the leg out in front. Try not to lean back as you do this. Keep the belly drawing in, keep the chest lifted, gazing at a single point. Then bend the knee, pivot forwards, coming to your warrior three. Again, trying to square the pelvis as much as possible, lifting that left leg up as you bring the left hip down, draw the belly in, extend the torso, body down a little bit more, leg up a little bit more, keeping the breath flowing, and then dropping the back leg down, coming to your lunge, re-squaring the pelvis if you need to, maintaining that position of the pelvis as you drop down, and come up, spring forwards, Back again to your warrior three. And then coming up to your balance. Straightening the leg in front if you want to. Don't lean back. Bend the chest, shoulders back. And then bring the leg down. Shake it out. Let it go. And then bring your feet to hip distance. And come down towards the floor. Hands on hips again. Lift up out of the waist. That same thing, lengthening the front of the body as much as possible. And then keeping that length as you come forwards, not rounding through the lower back here. Imagine you're trying to get your lowest rib closer to the wall in front of you. Draw the belly in. Keep the chest lifted, sternum drawing away. Engaging the quadriceps. See if you can turn the tailbone a little bit up towards the ceiling. Maintaining that lumbar curve, so no convex spine here. Keep the breath flowing, drawing the elbows back. Maybe come down another millimeter. And then bend your knees as much as you need to lay your stomach on your thighs. And relax the upper body down. And give your head a little bit of a shake. A little nod, relaxing the neck. Keeping that contact between your stomach and your thighs. Lengthening the breath here. And then from there, step back into a downward dog position. Keep the knees bent and the heels up. And really push the body weight back towards the feet. So strong arms here, pushing the floor away as much as possible, trying to send the weight back towards the feet, turning the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then bring the knees down, knees wide, toes together, and just drop back into a child's pose. You can relax or you can make it a little bit more active by extending the fingertips away as you resist back with the hips, stretching the sides of the body. Okay, and then we're going to come to, we're going to do dolphin into plank today. So from an all fours position, just drop your elbows down and bring your arms parallel in line with your shoulders. That means not like this, so like this. So have a look, check that your elbows are underneath your shoulders. And then from there, you can bring the hands together. You may want to just tuck the bottom little finger in to take the weight off of it. And then from here, start to draw the belly in towards the spine before you step your legs back into a plank position. You have a look down at your hips, make sure that you're not doing this. Bring the hips down in line with the rest of the body. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the belly, and keep the breath flowing. From here, we're going to push back into a dolphin pose. So coming back as far as you can. Maybe you want to step the feet in a little bit. Actually, I needed to there. So find a position here where you kind of, it's a bit like downward dog, but your elbows are down. Full dolphin pose. So again, you can keep your knees bent, your heels up, turn the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to go between these two postures. So coming forwards to your plank, squeezing glutes, squeezing the belly, and back to your dolphin pose. If this is not good for your shoulders, feel free to do downward dog into regular plank. Otherwise, just going through this movement really At the bottom of the movement in the plank, really keep those glutes and abdominals squeezing. Legs are engaged throughout. Turning the tailbone up towards the ceiling at the top. Okay, and then the next time you're in plank, bring your knees down and rest into whatever version of child pose feels good for you. You relax the arms back by the hips if you like. Rest the shoulders. And then come up and again replace your elbows underneath your shoulders, interlace your fingers. Maybe you want to switch your grip, so bring that less dominant thumb and finger on top like we do at the beginning of class. Step your feet out into your plank, bring the hips down, squeeze the glutes, draw the belly in. Draw the head back in space a little bit, don't let the head hang forward, strong straight legs, engaging the quadriceps, engaging the lower abdominals. Now, again, stabilize your pelvis in space as you pick your right leg up, really squeeze those right glutes even more, keeping the pelvis stable, lifting that leg up. Either hold it there, or you can take the leg out to the side, again, keeping that pelvis stable. And then come back to neutral, and bring the leg down. Push back into your dolphin. It's a rest pose now. And then come forwards again into your plank. Squeeze the belly in, squeeze the glutes, bring the hips down, and lift the left leg up, really squeezing that left glute to lift the leg. Keep the breath flowing, extend those toes away, belly in. And then you can bring the leg out to the side. I've got a wall in the way, so I can't bring it out very far. And then leg back to center and down. Push back into your dolphin pose. You might be able to, in your dolphin pose, bring your forehead down to the floor, just relax the head, and then it becomes a little bit more relaxing. And then coming forwards into your plank one more time. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the belly, and then drop the knees and rest for a moment in child pose. And then drawing the belly in, start to roll your way up. And we're going to come over onto our backs and do a little bit of core work. So laying on your back, a little bit of core work, as if we haven't already been doing a little bit of core work for most of the class. Anyway, we're going to do a little bit more. Yay. So bring your feet flat on the floor, hip distance apart, and just bring your hands onto the bony parts of your pelvis and start to tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards. So like really exaggerating it here so that you send the tailbone down and there's like a big gap at the lower back, and then you lift the tailbone up, squeezing the glutes and pushing the lower back down. So just going through that a few times. And noticing the muscles that you're using to do this. So as you push the lower back down and lift the tailbone up, you should feel the lower abdominals and the glutes engage. And then to lift the lower back up and push the tailbone down. Harder to feel, but you're using your hip flexors there to close the distance between the hips and the lower back. Okay, and then just come to a neutral position of the spine. Start to draw the belly in, really drawing it down towards the spine, and bring your hands to your low belly so that you can feel your abs. Keeping that position of the low belly, so keeping the belly button drawing in and keeping the distance between your lowest ribs and your hips, you're going to lift up one leg and then the other leg into a tabletop position. So you should feel here, now it's more difficult to keep that position, keeping the glutes, not the glutes, sorry, I'm always talking about the glutes, keeping the abs, squeezing in and keeping that, keeping the ribs closed, so not allowing that distance between your hip bones and your ribs now to increase. From here, we're going to start to just bring down one leg, tap it down, and then the other leg. So this exercise is easy if you cheat, but if you really focus on keeping that distance between your hips and your rib cage closed, it's quite difficult. You're also really focusing on keeping the belly button drawing in. And then from here, either hold it there at this level, keep going like that, or if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can bring each leg to straight. Again, no weight with that heel as it touches the floor. Keeping the lower back down, keeping the belly drawing in. Okay, next time your legs are up, hug the knees into the chest, and give a little roll from side to side. And then just come for a moment into Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, allow the legs to fall out and breathe into the low belly. Okay, bring your knees together and bring your legs up to a vertical position. If you need to bend your knees here, if you don't have the space in your hamstrings to straighten the legs, that's absolutely fine. And then we're going to, this is a very small movement, so just have a look first. You're going to be lifting your pelvis. I don't know if you can even see with my black shorts on the mat, but you're just trying to lift your tailbone off of the floor a little tiny bit. So, and without using momentum, but just squeezing the belly and pushing the toes up, pushing the tailbone up a little bit. Hopefully you will start doing this. If you haven't started doing it, please do it. Using the lower abs to lift that pelvis up. Do 3 more of those. Really tiny movement, not using momentum. And then bring the feet down. Allow the knees to fall out to the side. In your Baddha Konasana, breathe into the belly. Okay, bring bring your knees together. So have a little look again. We're gonna bring the hands to the sides of the body, lift the legs up, come up into a kind of almost shoulder stand, and then as slow as possible, roll the hips down. So we're again using that core to stabilize that movement. Either stop here, or if you want to challenge yourself more, you can bring the legs down, tap the feet on the floor, come up, and then we go again. So using the legs to counterbalance your way up, and then slow as possible, squeezing the belly, very slowly lowering each vertebrae down, and then optional belly to spine, lower back pushing down as you bring the legs all the way down and up. So do 5 of those in your own time. Keeping that belly drawing in, keeping the control, moving as slow as possible throughout the movement. I have no idea how many I've done. I'll do one more. Okay, and then when you've done your 5, again, hug your knees into your chest, a little roll on the lower back, and come into your Tadasana, just allowing the legs to fall out to the side, allowing the belly to spread. Breathe into the belly. And then bring your feet flat on the floor, feet wide, keeping the feet down. You can just windshield wipe the legs a little bit, massaging over the glutes. And then come to stillness, and we'll get ready for Shavasana. To bring the palms facing up towards the ceiling. Push the elbows down, lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades down underneath you. Lift the hips, lengthen the lower back. Allow the legs to come long. Feet to fall out to the sides. And close your eyes. Make any final adjustments so that you can be comfortable for the next few minutes as we rest in Shavasana. You need to put a pillow under your knees and be a little bit more comfortable for the lower back. And then just allow your body to be supported. Allowing the weight of the body to release down into the floor. And bring your awareness down into your toes and the soles of the feet, your ankles. And bring your awareness up through the legs, the knees and thighs. Bring your awareness to your pelvis. Feel the weight of the pelvis sinking down as your muscles let go. Bring your awareness up through your torso, really relaxing the belly, allowing the chest to be broad. Bring your awareness to your shoulders and arms, to your hands. Just noticing if there's any areas that you're still holding on. And if possible, allowing them to let go. And if not, just noticing. And bring your awareness into your neck and head. And relaxing all the muscles of the face. Relaxing the jaw. Relaxing the eyes and the eyebrows. So you can often try and hold on to tension in the face. Maybe just seeing if you can allow a slight smile to wash over the eyes and temples, softening the face. And then bring your awareness to your breathing. Noticing the gentle movement in the abdomen as you inhale and exhale. Not trying to change or control the breath, but just watching its movement, feeling the sensations. And then start to invite the breath back to a more normal level, taking a couple of deeper, longer breaths, breathing into the belly. And when you're ready to move, you can start by gently moving the toes and the fingers, noticing what it feels like. Noticing how just a couple of minutes laying down can really make you so much more aware of your bodily sensations. And then as you start to move a little bit more, you can, if you want to take a full body stretch, stretching the arms above the head, stretching the heels away, spread the fingers, spread the toes. And then draw your legs up so that your feet are flat on the floor. Roll over onto one side, making your way back to upright position. Sit cross-legged or on your knees. Close your eyes. You can either leave your hands resting on your knees or bring them to a prayer position in front of your heart. Bow your chin towards your chest. Take a moment to notice how you feel. And then raise your head and open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you very much.